Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Thing About Cancer. This time, we are looking at the notion that our own expectations from our treatment might have a bearing on the treatment outcome. Is it possible that if we constantly think that our treatment will not be successful or that the pain will be unbearable, we are more likely to experience these things? Exactly how powerful can our thoughts be? To find out more, we're speaking to Neerja Malik, who's an author, a TEDx speaker, a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and a counselor to many cancer patients. Through her own experience with cancer and as a caregiver to other cancer patients in her family, and through her role as a counselor, she has several insights to share with us on this topic. Thank you, Neerja ma'am, for joining us today. It's a pleasure speaking to you. I want to start by asking, we're coming to an understanding now that our expectations from a treatment, how we perceive a treatment, might go on to affect the outcome of that treatment as well. So in your life experience, how have you noticed negative thoughts having an impact on you?
Oh, wow, what a question. Okay, Shruti, I am going to give you an example. The example is going to be simple, and thereafter we will come back to the answer of your question.
Okay.
So what do I tell my patients when I meet them and they're about to go in for, let's say, a surgery, a chemotherapy, or even a radiation? I tell them, see, you've met me today. Tomorrow, if we meet at a mall, my face will light up seeing you. Your face will light up seeing me because we have become friends. So what I want you to do is to treat your treatment, whether it's a surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation, as a friend. Now, why would I say that? Because when you think of someone as a friend, your heart warms up. You look forward to meeting. So I tell them, see, all this is your friend because this treatment is going to make you perfectly fine. Now the problem is that I don't want you to go into it saying, are you radiation? Are you surgery? No. You're going to say, these are for my good. The knife is for my good. The chemo is for my good. The radiation is for my good. And let me accept. Let me welcome all these into my life as my friend. So the idea is that if emotionally and if mentally you start welcoming something, then physically also your body will have the best effect to it possible. Does that answer your question?
I think it does beautifully. That's a very different perspective on cancer treatment. There's something very interesting I read where you said you shouldn't be fighting cancer. Don't fight cancer, face it. What is wrong with fighting cancer?
Okay. So when I was in school, I was a very naughty child. I was very athletic. I was a games captain. I was playing all the games. I represented Delhi for the first national cross-country race of India in Lucknow. My father was in the armed forces. He was a naval officer. When I was diagnosed, I went running to my dad and I said, Papa, I'm going to fight cancer. And do you know what this man said to me? A naval officer, an Aryan, a warrior. He said to me, he said, Beta, why are you thinking of fighting it? Fighting it is like going to war. Fighting it is aggressive. There is negativity in it. Instead, why don't you say, Papa, I will face cancer. Now, when you say face, there is faith, there is hope. And not only that, you have this feeling that hum honge kamyab. We will overcome. So then you understand the difference now. When you are facing something, there is hope, there is faith that you will overcome. Hum honge kamyab. There is positivity. Whereas if you say you're going to fight it, I'm going to get even, I'm going to kill you, do you understand? Even the facial expressions change. You're going to fight it, you're going to face it. So I thank my dad. And if anywhere you hear that, please do not fight cancer, face it. Those are the words of my father in 1998, February.
Beautiful, ma'am. That's amazing.
Now, when I'm talking to a patient on the phone, the first thing I do is I let them unburden themselves. Sometimes they are told in the hospital, why don't you get in touch with Neerja? Sometimes their relatives tell them, and they call me up and I start talking. So first I listen. Listen. I tell them, that's the. Remember 3 points. The first point is that what you are going through, cancer, consider it as just a word. We don't break into sweat when we talk about a phone or a table or a chair or a fan. But when we hear the word cancer, we get shattered because from generations, there is this fear that holds us down and burdens us. The word cancer, think of it as just a word, nothing more, nothing less. Secondly, your treatment should not be considered as the be-all and end-all of existence. Consider it as a short detour to get you from this point to a future point. And you might be better than before. And thirdly, laughter is the best medicine. Now, these are just the general points. When I talk to the patient, I find out at that precise moment, what are you going through? You're going through a surgery, you're just going to go in. You believe in God? Yes. Who is your Ishtadevta? So and so. Do you have a job? Yes. So you have the love of your family. You are in the best hands, the best doctors possible. And everything that has been decided for you is right. So now just surrender. Just leave yourself in the hands of your family, your doctors, the surgeon, and God. Shut your eyes, take deep breaths, and just say your job as you go into your surgery, or your chemotherapy, or your radiation. And let me tell you, this too shall pass, and all will be well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that is beautiful. This too shall pass. I think that is something which will get us through a lot. So, in your extensive experience speaking to people, counseling them, have you actually witnessed that the way they think, the constant thoughts they have, positive thoughts and negative thoughts, actually have an impact on their treatment outcomes? Have you seen that?
A million times. But I'm going to give you a couple of examples just to clarify.
Sure.
So there was this young 10-year-old, and one of the administrative staff of the hospital said, please meet him. He's got blood cancer. So I met him and I said, what is the matter with you? Looks at me very seriously and he says, I've got blood cancer. I said, really? What does it mean? I don't know it. So he says, there are cancer cells in my blood, bad cells. I said, okay. Then I just asked him, I said, what do you play with? He said, Power Rangers. I'd never heard of Power Rangers. I'd heard of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Now see, whenever these things happen, I don't know what is going to happen next. So it is brilliant for me also to get these examples in my life so that I can pass them on to everyone. And it's a learning experience for me. So I said, okay, what do these Power Rangers do? He said, they have weapons and they go and they, it's good fighting against evil. I said, all right, I want to be a Power Ranger. But I have one condition. He said, what? I said, I want to be in a silver costume because I have silver hair. He got very excited. He said, I said, what color costume will you wear? He said, red. His mother said, okay, I'll wear green. And the father chose blue. Now, the thing is, I didn't know that his mother was an artist. When she came the next time, she had 4 paintings. And she had me looking, God is great, I'm fairly healthy. So she had a rotund figure. And what happened is that the next time when he came for his chemotherapy with these paintings, I got a brilliant idea. I said, you know what? The 4 of us are going to get into your blood with our weapons as Power Rangers. And when we get into your blood with your chemotherapy, we're going to help your chemotherapy. And we're going to go ta, 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 wherever we see the bad cancer cells. We're going to go ta, 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 and destroy. Shruti, he became so excited with this prospect. It was a game for him. It was as if he was starting to participate in his very treatment. And next to no time, he was fine. And he wanted to go to meet his grandparents in Gujarat. And his mother said, no, you can't go, no. I said, let him go. And now, he's somewhere in America, doing very well, getting a lot of awards. And I'm sure he's leading a very positive and happy existence. So see, just giving him an idea. And instead of focusing on the negative of what is wrong with me, I've got blood cancer, I can't go to school, I'm forbidden to meet my friends, I've got to wear a mask, all those things, they just disappeared because he got so excited with killing his own bad cancer cells.
So to sum it all up, our viewers, who are mostly people who are going through cancer treatment right now or have just finished cancer treatment, and with the pandemic going on and a lot of other issues, they're very worried, they're a bit stressed out. So since they're viewing your interview, what is it in short that you would like to tell them? A couple of things this is your message to them.
First of all, I tell them, consider that you're in a wonderful position. Earlier, 100 years back, 50 years back, forget 50 years. There is such a vast difference that I went through in terms of surgery, chemo, and radiation between 98 and 2004. So remember that science, medicine has made huge advancement. Remember that the best is happening in India, you don't need to go there. And remember that you have now not only medicine, you also have medicine to control the side effects of chemotherapy. So what a vast advancement. So these are all positive ways in which you can make yourself open and receptive to goodness, to health, to well-being. Be positive. You know what I tell patients? My blood group is A, be positive. Because when you're positive, ways open up, things become clear, and you can overcome anything. I've written a book called I Inspire. It has my 10 treasures, which have helped me face all kinds of adversities, and especially all that I have gone through. And there's such simple things, Shruti. What are the 10 things? Love, fun and laughter, God, faith, miracles, even death is a treasure because it teaches you acceptance and attitude of gratitude, which gives you abundance and then the living in the now. So I tell them all, this too shall pass. And you know what the last thing I dangled in front of them? Quickly finish your treatment and come and join me. Because you know how I have helped you out of it. Now, wherever you are, people in your community will think that you're the experienced one. And whenever there is a case of cancer, they'll come to you. And you know exactly how I managed to get you out of it. And you will help so many more. So imagine I have started a ripple after ripple after ripple, literally, of cancer counseling. And these things make me so happy. So I would tell people, remember that everything is temporary. My hair fell, they grew back. Anything to do with your surgery, your chemo, your radiation is temporary. They give you chemotherapy every 21 days. Why? Because by the 21st day, you're pretty much as good as you can be. Otherwise, they wouldn't start chemotherapy. So remember, it takes 21 days to get out of the effects. 21 days. Everything is temporary. Your side effects are temporary. Your treatment is temporary. This too shall pass. Have faith. Overcome. Be well. Be happy. Be positive.
I'm pretty sure that anyone watching will understand, and I thank you for the humility you've shown, the way you speak about things and calling yourself just an instrument and it's not something that you do, and the humor and the gentleness that you bring, and of course for giving us the time to do this with us, for sharing your experience with us. And I mean, you've just spoken to me for a few minutes and I feel grateful that you spoke to us today. And I can only imagine how much patients who are going through so much more would be grateful to you. So thank you so much for speaking to us, ma'am. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Neerja Malik as much as I did. Before you leave, let's quickly recap the 3 key points from this conversation. The first is to look at cancer as just another word. This is to disconnect all of the negative emotions and the fear we currently associate with the word cancer. The second tip is to think of our treatment as just a temporary phase in our lives. It's not the end of any journey, it's just a detour we are taking while we're getting from point A to point B. And the third point is to use humour as a medicine and look at the lighter side of every situation that we find ourselves in. In the words of Neerja Malik, this too shall pass. I'll leave you with that thought. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next episode, and leave all your feedback for us in the comments below. Thank you for watching.